Hi, I'm Allison the Crocheter.
And I'm Vivian the Knitter, and you're listening to Keep Calm and Carry Yarn.
Hello, and welcome to episode 39 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. This is a knitting and crocheting podcast hosted by me and my mom, Vivian. I'm recording from my home here in Edinburgh.
And I'm recording from my home here in New Hampshire.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
everybody.
Happy New Year!
Yeah, Happy New Year, 2019.
I actually don't mind the way 2019 sounds as a number.
Even though it's odd.
Even though it's odd. It's better than 2017.
Okay.
I don't know why. It just is.
All right, well, 2019 is starting off with a bang then, because Allison approves of its name.
Yeah.
So how was your New Year's?
Yeah, it was good. It was quiet. I didn't do anything for actual New Year's Eve. I did participate in the torchlight procession for Hogmanay on the 30th with a friend who was visiting from Boston.
I saw that on your Instagram. What is that? Did you have to sign up for it, or you just show up?
So you buy a ticket for, you can buy one ticket for a torch, and for every one torch ticket you can get 3 other non-torch tickets, so you don't have to, which are cheaper. So we just had one torch between the two of us, which was fine, really, because then that meant we could take turns holding it, and the other person can, look around, take pictures, not be too worried about setting someone's head alight. I very specifically didn't
because it's
wear
real torches.
Yeah, I didn't wear
not a flashlight.
No, yeah, they're wax based. So it's like a giant candle, sort of. But yeah, I specifically didn't wear my hat with the pom-pom because I was just thinking that could easily just get set alight or melted or whatever.
Yeah, considering it is a synthetic.
Yeah.
It would just melt into a blob.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to take part in, but I think it probably is. Well, okay, so it was fun to take part in just for the atmosphere and getting to hold the torch, and we were just behind one of the pipe bands that was also in the procession. But at the end, you end at Holyrood Park, which is just by the palace, and the torches form some sort of shape. This year, they formed the outline of Scotland. But I think it must be only the first batch of people in the front of the procession that formed that shape. And then afterwards, by the time we got there, there was sort of a concert going on. You could see the stakes that they'd set out that would have marked where they did the outline. And then on New Year's Day, when Sam and I took a walk in Holyrood Park as well, so we went up the crag, and you could see where the outline of Scotland was because the grass was all trampled. So it would be cool to spectate from up above, I think, as well, because you can actually watch them make the shape and everything.
And
then see the sort of stream, the river of fire come down the Royal Mile sort of thing.
Wait, didn't you do that last year, or no?
I watched it from town up by Calton Hill.
Okay.
But that basically, we could just sort of see, we couldn't really see the torch light procession much. It was just sort of in between the buildings we could see it. We were mostly just watching the fireworks last year.
Oh, okay. That's so cool. You live in such a cool place.
Yeah.
We did absolutely nothing. Your dad and I went to bed early. And that was it.
That's okay. I mean, I did make it up until midnight, but I was in bed at midnight just watching my phone count down.
In bed?
Yes.
That's pretty funny. Okay. You ready to do the BuzzFeed?
Yes. You picked it, but it's this food pun test will reveal if you're more introverted or extroverted.
I like I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Tagline.
We love a good pun.
Maybe
so
you
what
love
you get?
a pun more than me. I got more introverted. You really appreciate your alone time and can tend to get overwhelmed when you're surrounded by large groups of people for an extended period. You spend a lot of time in your head, which means you're sometimes guilty of overthinking, but you have great intuition and can often see facades people put on. I do think I'm more introverted. I don't think I'm really, really introverted, but I can definitely just stay at home for, a 2-week stretch and not really socialize.
Yeah, which is funny. I mean, I feel the same way about myself, but on this quiz, I got more extroverted. While you enjoy having time to yourself, you get lonely pretty easily, so you prefer to be around other people. You're fine with attention being on you, but that doesn't necessarily make you an attention seeker. You're just used to commanding the room and initiating the conversation. Since your brain is regularly in need of stimulation, you tend to get bored easily too.
I feel like it must just be very random because I'm looking at these puns and I can't decide how you're supposed to decide which ones are more introverted or extroverted.
I don't know. I just pick, things that are just funny to me.
Okay, which was the best pun that you liked from the quiz?
The best pun? It's the yeast I could do for the pizza pun.
A pizza pun I picked in Pizza Week first, but I think I liked Donut Rain on My Parade.
I picked the same thing.
Yeah.
Donut Rain. Speaking of donuts, Dunkin' Donuts is taking the donuts off of their...
I heard...
their name.
I was
just
watching
Dunkin's.
A Good Mythical Morning on YouTube, and they mentioned it. And I just sort of thought, what? When did this happen? This is what happens when you don't live in America. You don't find out that Dunkin' Donuts is now just Dunkin'.
Yeah, but they haven't taken down all the signs or anything. Yeah. It's still Dunkin' Donuts in town. So I don't know when that's going to be implemented.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. So that's just a punny quiz that I picked randomly. I couldn't... nothing else jumped out at me.
That's okay.
Okay.
Right. I keep thinking that it's like, I want to try to make a quiz that's like, are you more Allison or are you more Vivian?
I don't know a whole lot of people that would want to take that quiz. But you're the one that said we're the same person, except you're older. You did say that not too long ago. Okay. What should we do next?
Well, you have kindly compiled all of our projects that we finished last year.
Yep.
So maybe we should talk about that, hey?
Yeah, we're pretty productive. Between the two of us, we did 48 projects.
Yeah, when I actually saw
did I count that right?
How many you made, I was like, wow. You did 25, and then when you went on to mine, 23. That was way more than I thought I'd done. Like, just reading through all the different projects, I just sort of thought, oh, wow, did I actually make all those this year? Or this past year?
Yeah, you did. I mean, we have a combination of, small projects and large projects, just like any other year. But yeah, I mean, you finished your big, giant Life's a Plus Afghan. That thing is huge.
Yeah, finished it
forever
in 2018.
That's okay. I think I started the bubbly sweater. Maybe. Oh no, I definitely started the Maxfield cardigan the year before, and then finished it in the beginning of 2018.
Do you want to do a quick run through of all the different projects you did?
I'm not going to name. You want me to count just the numbers or all
I don't
of
know
them?
Either.
Okay, I did 11 hats. Should I name them all?
Sure.
Kodiak Kisses, striped alpaca hat, coins hat, lavender daisy hat, great daisy hat, tied knots hat by Justina Lukowska, Peary Floors by Kate Davies, Cora by Woolly Wormhead, Shornies by Ann Kingston, blue and green striped hat, and then the final slouch hat cowl by Luz Mendoza. Those are the 11 hats.
Crocheted.
Which was crocheted, yes. And then 2 scarves / cowls. There was the Gris de Lin by the French lady that I can't pronounce. And then the blue-yellow infinity scarf. 5 sweaters. Maxfield cardigan, bubbly sweater, sock arms, and engie. And I only did 1 Isabel Kramer sweater last year.
Wait. That's only 4 sweaters.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm sorry. And I finished one. I just finished one, like right before the New Year's.
Okay.
I'll talk about later. 2 pairs of socks, time traveler socks.
Only 2?
and Kind of Magic socks. Yeah, because it doesn't. I just like, it stays in my purse, and I just finish it whenever.
I just thought you did more socks.
No, not last year anyway. 2 pairs of mittens, both the same. The Fiddlehead by Adrienne Basilia, and then 3 miscellaneous. I did washcloths, chair socks, and more washcloths. So that was my miscellaneous. What about you?
I'll start with my miscellaneous ones. I had 7 miscellaneous things. My placemats, my hot water bottle cover, my Stialic coin purse. Although technically I still haven't finished that, nor the puffin cushion, because I haven't done the sewing bits of that. But I've finished the crocheting bits. My French market bag, and then 2 wall hangings.
Yep.
My Afghan that you mentioned. I also have 2 socks, Ron Strong, belt line cuff down, and Gorman Street toe up. Pair of mittens, my photography mittens, which I wore today by Carmen Jacob. 2 sweater/tops, my pleated cardigan by Kat Golden, and the Roma tank top. 2 shawls, Wisteria Trellis shawl by Joanne's Grace, and Blur by Deanne Ramsey, who is Addie Day. 5 scarves/cowls, Sam scarf, my Carlaway cowl by Rachel Atkinson, Delta scarf, Venetian carnivan cowl by Michelle B. Ophir Rocker scarf
Say that 10
by
times fast.
Zines and Rogers, which I also wore today. 3 hats, well, sort of hats. I had my millennial pink headband, the Mirage ponytail hat/cowl by Hannah from Cozy Cottage Crochet, and my pussy hat by Kay Coyle, which is knitted, the one non-crocheted.
Yeah, and it's an FO for this time. So we did quite well. You know, I can't wait to see the video where you flash all the pictures of all the things we've done.
No, definitely. I it's good to see it all.
Yeah, it's all written out, and
yeah. I feel very accomplished.
You were very productive last year. Let's see how. Wait, the pussy hat you finished before New Year's, I'm assuming, right?
Okay, well, technically, I finished it today.
Really? Oh man! So I should put it in the list for 2019.
It's fine. I mean, I just been putting it off. I just have to. I'll talk about it, but technically, I shouldn't have said that.
Okay.
Do you have any? We're not really one for resolutions, are we?
No, not really, because, what was it? There was a cartoon somewhere, and the little boy is sitting on his mom's lap and says, "What does New Year's resolution mean, Mommy?" And she said, "Oh, it's just a to-do list for the first week of the year." Yeah.
Well,
did you make one?
You did a lot of hats.
I did. And, well, a few of them were just off the top of my head type, not following.
But there's still a lot of hats.
Yeah.
You only have one head. Can't argue with that.
I do only have one head, but they're not all for me. So I did keep a bunch of them. Okay, 3 of them I've actually given away already. And then some of the other ones are still in the question mark pile of emergency gifts. So,
all right.
Okay. Or actually 4. 1, 2. Yeah, 4, because I gave you the tied knots for your birthday.
Right. Yeah.
It was for your birthday, right?
That's the one that I didn't wear because it has a massive pom-pom on it.
Yeah, but you wear it all the time, right?
I do wear it all the time.
Okay, that's good.
Which is why I almost wore it, but I was like, no, wait, I can't wear this.
So, like you said, we don't really do any type of New Year's resolutions unless you were thinking about doing something.
But looking at what I've done, I do think I definitely want to do another sweater this year. Mm-hmm. So I only did one.
We did the tank top
last year. Yeah, but sweater.
Uh-huh.
And I know I've got some in my cues or whatever that I want to do.
So will you crochet them or crochet it or knit it?
Okay, that'll be another thing I'll do. I'll do at least another knitting project.
Okay. Big if, I do another crochet project this year, it will not be something that mimics knitting in any part of it. Because I don't like that.
Sorry.
It has to look like it's crocheted.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I love me a good granny square.
Mm.
I could make something out of granny squares.
Yeah, or like granny stitch or something.
Yeah.
You can make a blanket.
I don't want to make a blanket. Because I feel like if I wanted to make a blanket, then, I don't want to spend like $500 on yarn to make a blanket. But at the same time, I don't want to work with crappy yarn either.
Okay.
So I'll just buy my blankets. Or I make them I quilt them.
Yes, that's true. Speaking of quilting them, you owe me a quilt.
I know.
Okay. Anyway, so I do have a whip, and so it's my Temperamental Artist Shawl by Kat Golden, which is in the Crochet Projects Shawl Project Book 3. And I don't want to murder myself over it. Like, I think I've gotten to a good place.
Did you rip it out?
So last time we talked, I think I pretty much realized I needed to rip it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I was going to take a picture before I ripped it out, and I never actually took a picture.
Oh.
So basically, I'd done 2 rows of shells, but used a whole 100-gram skein of yarn. But I still needed to do another row of shells in that yarn, which I no longer had any of. So obviously, something was wrong. So I sized down by 1.5 millimeters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using a 5 now, which, funnily enough, so the yarn I bought at EYF with you, this hook I bought at EYF with you, and the pattern book I bought at EYF the year before.
Okay, so it'll be your EYF garment for March in 2 months? 2 months? 2 months? I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully I can finish it for March. Anyway, so I've now done 3 rows of shells with the first 100-gram skein, which is good. And I have a little bit of yarn left over, which I do need a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I was so nervous. I did half of the first row of shells and then sort of thought, I'm going to be so mad if I keep carrying on.
Did you weigh it?
So, yeah, so at that point, I weighed it. But because you it's not done back, like you do 1 row of shells and then you have to cut the yarn and then go back to the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Because it's Tunisian, there's a front and a back.
Okay.
So I was able to do half, and then I didn't cut the yarn, but I had cut the yarn from my first attempt, so I had a second ball. So I used that second ball and started the second row of shells, and then with various weighing, I figured out how big the weight of each shell, because the shell from the first row are slightly different than the subsequent rows. So couldn't do it based off of the first row shells. Okay. I had to do it based off of the second row shells. So I built on top of what I had. I think I had like 5 shells that I was able to weigh. And it seems to work out fine. But I weighed my yarn, my 100-gram skein. There's more than 100 grams in it, by quite a bit. It was like 120, 115.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really sure what happened, or why I have so much yarn. Or maybe my scale's just wrong. I don't know. But
you have enough. The most important thing is that you have enough yarn.
Yeah, with the math worked with more than 100 grams that I had enough.
Okay.
So I have enough.
The color is beautiful so far. I mean,
yeah, so it's like
it's
mostly blue, but
yeah. Gee, I wonder why I like it.
Speckles of purple and a darker blue, and yeah. No, I'm happy. So I've done the first 3 rows of shells, and now I'm going to move on to the first color from the mini skein set. I think that's pretty much all I need to say. Just that I am finally happy and mostly confident that I'm going to have enough yarn.
Yay!
Yeah. But it was same with the mini skate, the gradient set. They're meant to be 20 grams each, but I weighed them, and some of them were coming out at up to 30 grams. So, I don't know.
Maybe there's something wrong with your scale.
Maybe. Sam's first reaction when I weighed the 100-gram skein and it was more than 100. He just listened to me. He's like, "Ugh, what have you done to it? Like, have you just like left grub in it to make it heavier?" I don't know.
That's gross. So is that your only whip? It's a big whip.
Yeah, that's my only whip. But it's pretty simple now. Like, it's pretty monotonous in a good way.
That's good. That's good. I have one whip. It's still the Zweig. I'm really happy with it.
The Zweig. Is that a sweater?
Zweig. Yes. Can you see this? Because I can't see me.
Whoa. Wait. Had you already
started?
Did I
not start it yet?
I think this is new.
Okay, I have a new. No, it's not because I was doing the yoke last time. I remember taking a picture of it.
If you say so. Nope. It's not in last week's show notes. I don't think you talked about it.
Okay, I didn't talk about it. So I guess
so
I started
a new sweater.
After.
You've definitely talked about the sweater before as like something you wanted to make.
Yeah. Well, I started it, and I'm already on the body. I mean, I zipped through the neck, and then the yoke, the lace yoke part, and then there's a little bit of color work, and now I'm doing the body.
It's really nice. So this is the Zweig sweater by Caitlin Hunter?
Yes. Oh, the lace part, it went so fast. I was sad when it was over.
Yeah.
I wanted to do
I like it. It's not like very lacy. Like it's not doesn't look super holy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely have to wear something underneath it. But
yeah.
I most of the other Zweigs that I've seen, at least on the internet, are on Ravelry. The body, the main color and the contrasting color, they contrast more. So it's like, black and white or something where it's really dark or really light. So there's a big contrast, and I didn't really like, and so it didn't really appeal to me until I saw somebody wearing one at EYF last year that had more of a subtle contrast. So that was what I was going for. I mean, it's not completely subtle, but it's not as contrasty.
Yeah, the like value of the colors are more similar.
And this
did I use that right? The value of the colors. This is like taking me back
you're
to
the art major,
to like middle school art class days. Because the main color is what, like a light gray.
The main color is actually the purple. Down
purple.
Here. It's a purple.
Wait, how many colors are you using?
2.
Oh, okay. So it's purple.
So this is purple. It's purple, and it looks sort of it's hand dyed. And it looks almost like watercolor.
So is it more like a lilac-y or lavender?
It's definitely, I guess, closer to lavender than bright purple. And then the contrast is it's a gray base, but it's got speckles of turquoise and blue and green and like neon green and yellow, which usually isn't something that I go for, but I think it looks really good with the purple yarn.
And do you know what the yarns are?
Yes. The light color is Birch Dye Works 80/20 sock, and it's actually dyed in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the purple, the main color, is Sweet Georgia Yarns Tough Love sock. So they're both sock yarns, and they're both 80/20 merino, I think. Yep. Merino line-on. So I'm really happy with this. The body is going to go a bit slower because there is a little bit of patterning to it, and then there's like a few rows of straight stockinette. So I do have to at least halfway pay attention to it a little bit. So I got a lot of knitting done during the holidays when I was sitting around at your aunt's house when the rest of the adults were playing mahjong and stuff like that.
Right.
So.
Oh, it's really. I'm just like going through other people's ones just to see like the finished sweater, and it's a really nice pattern.
It is. I really like it. It came out not last year, but the year before.
I mean, I would wear that if you were going to make another one or something.
Or maybe you could make one for yourself.
I don't think this is the next stuff after hat.
After the pussy hat?
Yeah.
Well, you can work up to it.
Okay.
So that's my only whip.
Okay. Speaking of the pussy hat, that is my FO. I mean, I was nearly done with it last time anyway, and so I mentioned I only finished it today because it's been sitting around and I just haven't sewn it together. Mm-hmm. So today I got home from work and I was like, okay, I need to have an FO for today. So I sewed it together and I weaved ends in. What did I do?
You wove the ends in?
Woven? Is that right?
Well, you're going to weave it, but you did it already, so they've been woven in.
Well, I don't know. Sounds funny. I had woven the ends in. For some reason, I wanted to say I've woven the ones in one. Right. The ends are woven in. There you go. But yeah, it's really cute.
Yeah, it is. It's adorable.
So I used the like, it was like the official pattern for the pussy.
Yeah, you did.
Hat. Like, yeah,
that was the official one.
And putting it on and just seeing it like not on because it's just a rectangle. It is very like iconic, you know.
Is it?
I think so. Like, I feel like I see that shape and I know you know exactly what it is.
Oh,
I
you
know
mean
exactly
when it's flat?
Well, on as well with the ears, like
yeah.
You know, because you could make a different sort of cat hat with like little ears, but because these ears are made just with the fold, the
rectangle,
the superfluous, corners of the rectangle, because your head is not a rectangle, and it makes the ears like that. I think is very iconic. Like it's not just a regular cat hat.
I guess
with, like, ears
it is now. I guess.
Yeah.
Did you need help? I mean, did you have to look for help to
sew it together?
Yeah.
No, but I don't know if it's perfect.
I'm sure
I did what I thought was a mattress stitch. But I mean, I can tell. I mean, it's messy, but it's like not that bad. The yarn itself I got from you, the Artful Yarn Serenade, 30% Angora, 7% cotton, sheds like nobody's business.
I know,
but I guess it's the Angora, huh?
Yeah, but like, it's really soft.
It is really soft. I had it on my, I don't know, when I was sewing in, I had it on my lap on my black pants, and it was just full of fuzz. But now, mysteriously, the fuzz is gone, so I don't know where it's gone. Like, it must have rubbed off on something else.
or you swallowed it all or something.
What, licked it off of my pants?
Oh, I don't know. You did something.
So, yeah, that's my FO. It's a little big. It's a little, like, it could have been tighter around my head.
Yeah. We could have done like a... Usually when you're knitting a hat in the round, you either cast on less stitches for the brim and then increase when you're done with the brim, or you do the brim in a smaller needle so it's tighter.
Right. I think you mentioned that.
Yeah. But I don't think I had another needle for you, right? Or something?
Yeah. No, it's okay.
I don't remember. So I have two FOs. And one is also the one that I was practically done with. I guess halfway done with last time. It was my slouchy hat. The crocheted one. It looks really nice. I don't know. So I was like, should I keep it? It's done. It is really nice. But like you said earlier, I only have one head. I have a lot of hats. But it's really cute. I don't know. I haven't worn it as a cowl, but I have worn it as a hat. It's not super warm because there are holes in it, so it's more of a
spring.
Yeah, spring, I mean you can't wear it when
transition.
It's like, yeah, you can't wear it when it's like 10 degrees outside, which it hasn't really been here. But
so, did you knit an I-cord or whatever?
I did. I knitted an I-cord, and I can't even find it anymore because I tied it inside. Here it is. See, I knitted the I-cord.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to take pictures. But it looks kind of. I don't like it as a cowl. It looks weird.
You don't like it as a cowl?
I mean, I haven't worn it as a cowl. Just because the
once
bottom's
it's bunched up on your
tighter,
neck, though, you wouldn't be able to tell.
I guess not. Because that's my first FO, and I think I finished it like just a couple days after we last recorded. And my second FO, I finished in 5 days. I started it on New Year's Eve when we were with family, and I finished it on
Christmas Eve, you mean?
Yes, Christmas Eve. And then I finished it on the 29th.
Wow.
I just have to sew on. It's been blocked and everything. I just have to sew on buttons. But it is a baby Lush cardigan. Isn't it so cute?
It's so cute. It's so cute.
Yeah, this pattern is pretty amazing. It's the yoke, the lace yoke part.
What's the pattern, did you say?
It's called Lush, and it's by Tin Can Knits.
Okay.
And she's a British designer. That's all I know. But she's got lots of sweaters, and this sweater is actually pretty famous. It is knit sideways on the yoke, and then you pick up stitches.
Oh.
I think I'm probably going to knit it again for another baby, but when I do it, I'm going to do the lace yokey part, the lace yoke in a smaller needle. Because it looks kind of, I don't know, it looks a little wonky to me. I think it would be a little bit better if the yoke wasn't so loose,
open,
whatever. But it's really cute, and and the sizes go from size 3, like 3 to 6, all the way to women's size, extra large, or something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
So you can make your baby a matching little sweater cardigan.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
But and what yarn have you used? And who's this for?
This is for my cousin's baby. My cousin that you've never actually met. It is for baby Maya, and she's a cutie patootie. The yarn is just Knit Picks Swish worsted.
It's a cotton.
No, it's a superwash wool. Or not worsted, DK. I can't remember. I'm sorry. It would be nice if I had my notes open, right?
Yeah. Bad podcast.
Let's see. Well, I forgot that we were recording today. It's DK. Yeah, it's a Swish DK. So I bought enough yarn to make another baby sweater. So there's another baby that's about the same age as her. She might be getting the same sweater in a different color.
Which color is that? Yellow.
This one is it's yellow. It's called cornmeal. It's it's a soft yellow. It's not mustard.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay. I do have a little bit of yarny bits and bobs. So back before Christmas, I went to Durham in England. And on the drive, before we went, I went to see if there were any yarn stores in Durham or in the area. There was nothing in Durham, but there was something on the way down, and that actually determined which way we drove down.
And Sam was okay with that?
Yeah. I think it wasn't the most scenic of routes.
Oh, so did you go home a different way then?
Yeah, but it was dark.
Oh.
So I went to Find Fettle Fibers in Felton, which is like a little village, town, don't know. But you sort of had to go through an arch in the building to like the back, like the mews, sort of. And it was sort of not a complex, but there were different like artsy studios. Like you sort of felt like you were walking through someone's office. Like they all shared a little kitchenette area, and then there was like a room where some illustrator worked and like sold some of her prints and stuff like that. But anyway, so that's where the yarn store was, and I bought Joe Story, British Barefaced, British Bluefaced Leicester Wool, and Baby Alpaca. There's a DK yarn in like a dark charcoal gray.
Pretty.
But it's pretty soft because it's got the alpaca.
Yeah.
But yeah, British born, British raised, and British spun.
Is it, what's the weight on that? What did you say? Oh,
DK?
DK, you did say
DK,
that.
yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I feel like I should have bought 2, but I only bought 1.
Is it 100 grams?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, but at least enough for, a hat and then some. 2 small hats, maybe?
2 small knitted hats, maybe.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, a hat and then some, and then a little bit extra.
But yeah, so I bought that. And
That's
the shop
nice.
they were hosting some sort of, a workshop. So it was like 2 different rooms, but the second room was pretty much all taken up by a big table. And
did you take any pictures?
Sat around it. No, I didn't.
Oh. So on Ravelry, you can map like a road trip.
What?
Did you know that? I don't know. So you can go on Ravelry and where it says yarns. And then, on the bottom it says yarn store directory. And then underneath that it says going on a trip. Visit shops on the way. Road trip planner. Do you not see that?
What? No, I've never seen this.
Is it not the same in the UK?
I see it now.
So when you click that, you say where you're originating from and your destination, and then how far you are willing to detour. So you didn't use that for going to Durham.
I didn't. This does show up.
How many shops did you miss because you didn't do this?
Well, some of them are in Edinburgh. So the first few are in Edinburgh. That one of them is definitely closed. And then so I skipped out so some of them I recognized and I saw, but I skipped them out because they were more like commercial brands. But that is handy.
Yes, I use it whenever we go somewhere.
Well, especially because then it tells you how many miles off your route it is.
Yeah, that's very convenient. So depending on who's
Fine Fettle Fibers was only 1.1 miles off. Wait, if you change... Oh my god, it's like magic. Well, because you can... It's doing it based off of a Google map, so you can drag the route. So if say... the default route it gave me was the route we did end up driving. But say if we'd driven a different way, I can drag it to that different way, and it'll recalculate the yarn stores.
Pretty cool, huh? I don't understand why mine is going by kilometers and not miles.
Throw that into your Mamapedia.
What's that?
That's like a Mommypedia for you.
Yes, it's a Mommypedia by accident. So it's a handy thing. It's not, they've had it for a while. I mean, it's not like they haven't had it from the very beginning, but they've definitely had it for the last few years that I can recall.
Yeah, I guess I just never go to that yarn page, really.
Yeah, usually when I'm looking for a shop, I will go into the yarn page and look for something.
I see.
So, next road trip. I was
when we go to Skye.
Put it in. What does it say?
It's not really showing much.
Oh. It's still showing it in kilometers. There's one that says, oh yeah, most of them are in Edinburgh.
Well, if anyone has any suggestions on where we might go that's fiber related between Edinburgh and Skye or on Skye, because there could be like mills or something.
That's true. Maybe we could tour a fiber mill, like a weaving mill too.
Right. Did you have anything else for anything else?
No, not really. Just that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
I haven't really been very productive when it comes to my yarn and crafts because we've been holidaying with the fam. Mm-hmm. People in town, people leaving, people coming back. So, lots of fun.
Yeah, I have to admit, I've done a bit of crochet, like, over the holidays and stuff, but I've mostly been reading because I'm more than halfway through Lethal White, which is the last book in the Cormoran Strike novels, which is the mystery books by J.K. Rowling.
Yep. You like it so far?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I already listened to it.
It's got me hooked.
I liked it. There were some times where you're like, why did you do that? But anyway.
Yeah. No, I waited to borrow the ebook from the library.
I see.
I had a little ways to wait because obviously there was
there are a lot of people waiting.
A line or whatever. Yeah. I feel like I have nothing more interesting to say now. I've already talked about my New Year's things that I got up to.
So you want to end it now? Because I don't have anything. I haven't even been in the shop. Yeah, because I haven't done anything for the shop at all since Christmas. Since actually the last episode.
We can say goodbye and see you all for all the shows coming up in the new year. You can find the show notes for this episode and every episode on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can follow us on Instagram at kcacypodcast as well, and kcacy being Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. My personal Instagram is Allison here. My mom's personal Instagram is upstate_Viv. And then you can subscribe or like or comment or whatever on YouTube or on iTunes or wherever else you listen to your podcasts. And you can also join our Ravelry group. Just search Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast in the group tabs. Thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn.